What happens when two of the world's biggest superpowers face off in one of the world's most dangerous waters? In the shadows of the South China Sea, a U.S. warship enters a disputed zone, and Beijing claims it was chased out. But was it really? Or is there a far bigger game being played here? Stay with me, because what you're about to see reveals just how close we are to a conflict that could shake the entire world. Welcome to a reality. It started near Scarborough Shoal, a small cluster of rocks in the West Philippine Sea. China calls it Huangyan Island. The U.S. Navy says their destroyer, the USS Higgins, was simply exercising freedom of navigation. But Beijing told a very different story, that they had driven the warship away. China accused Washington of trespassing into sovereign territory, breaking international law, and threatening peace in the region.
Actions of the U.S. destroyer severely undermined peace and stability in the waterway.
The U.S., on the other hand, denied it all and doubled down, saying no Chinese warnings would ever deter them. This wasn't just about one warship, it was about a message. For the first time in 6 years, the U.S. Navy challenged China so directly in these waters. And it came at a moment when the two countries were already locked in a trade war, with tariffs, sanctions, and threats flying across the Pacific. China responded with a chilling warning that it was prepared for any type of war. The Philippines, caught in the middle, accused China of dangerous maneuvers that almost caused a deadly collision at sea. The tension was no longer abstract, it was unfolding live on the waves. In May 2024, Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. issued a stark warning. If a single Filipino citizen were killed in a clash with Chinese forces, it would be considered an act of war. That statement drew a red line in the ocean, one that the U.S. quickly moved to reinforce. Washington and Manila began joint military drills, sailing side by side through contested waters. But these maneuvers were more than just training. They were a signal to Beijing, to Taipei, and to the world that this fight could easily spill over into something far bigger than disputed reefs. Why does this matter? Because the South China Sea isn't just a patch of ocean. It's one of the most valuable shipping lanes on Earth. Nearly a quarter of the world's trade, worth more than $5 trillion every year, passes through these waters. Oil tankers, food supplies, technology shipments, all moving through a corridor now at risk of turning into a war zone. And yet, China has rejected even international court rulings, insisting these waters belong to them. For Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and every other nation in the region, the stakes couldn't be higher. For the rest of the world, it's the very lifeline of the global economy. So, did China really force out an American destroyer? Or was it just a battle of words in a much larger war? What we know for certain is this: tensions are rising, red lines are being drawn, and one wrong move could drag the world into a crisis far beyond the South China Sea. This isn't just about disputed islands. It's about power, survival, and control of the future. And as this story unfolds, the only question is, who blinks first? But let me ask you, if war ever broke out in the South China Sea, which side do you think would come out on top? The United States or China? Comment below, because your answer might just reveal how divided the world really is. Wait until you hear what happened next. This conflict isn't stopping here.